Good day, good day, good day. Today, I'll be covering the next topic, which will be about chromosomes. So, in grade 10, when we learned about cells, they taught us that inside the nucleus, we've got chromatids, which normally tend to unwind to form what we call chromosomes. So, whenever you've got chromatin network inside the nucleus, they tend to unwind, and this is occurs during cell division. So when the chromatin network unwinds, they form what we call chromosomes. So chromosomes, they are generally wrapped up around proteins called histones. So whenever they ask you guys a one-word question about which type of proteins are found in chromosomes, so just remember chromosomes are wrapped around histones, which are the proteins that cover our chromosomes. So now also another question that I've seen a lot in past papers, they always ask, what is a gene? They always ask, what is a gene? So a gene is a short sequence which will have nucleotides. Remember nucleotides from DNA? We'll have phosphate, sugar group, and also the bases. So this short sequence will carry what we call a genetic code. The genetic code is the message that will be passed on as to how the human being will look like. So a gene will normally carry the genetic code, which will be passed on to the next generation. And also, I also want to highlight these two different types of cells. We've got what we call somatic cells. Somatic cells are the cells which you found in the body. So they are all over the body. But we've got other cells which are called sex cells. Sex cells are the ones that you normally find in your gametes, like the one that will be forming XX or XY. Those are your sex cells. So your sex cells determine the gender of the baby, but your somatic cells are all over the body. For example, when you are doing other genetic modifications such as cloning, they tend to use the somatic cells, which we'll cover later on. So we also need to become aware that in a normal human being, we have 46 chromosomes. So a normal human being will have 46 chromosomes, and these chromosomes, they are always in pairs. So since we have got 26 chromosomes, they must be in pairs. So we call this a doublet number. So the doublet number is a full set, which will be 2n. So 2n will be equals to 46, which represent the number of chromosomes that us as human beings have. So if I were to do maths, and let's say we divide both sides by 2, also this side by 2, so we know that 2 and 2 will cancel, and then here we'll be left with n, and then this will be n is equals to 46 divided by 2, which will give us 23. So the full set or the doublet set is 2n is equals to 46, but the haploid number or the haploid set n will be equals to 23. That is in human beings. The haploid number n is equals to 23. 2n is equals to 46. It's our diploid set. N is equals to 23. It's our haploid set. So always remember those terms because they're very important when they ask questions. They can say a human being or an organism has a diploid number of 50, for example. That means if it is 50, that means 2n is equals to 50. And then if they say haploid number of 20, that means n is equals to 20, but 2n will be equals to 40. So also other organisms, for example, a horse has got this set of chromosomes. Maybe a rat also has got 42 chromosomes, just for interest sake, but mostly in grade 12, they tend to focus mostly in human beings. Sometimes they can give you questions about other organisms, but they always tell you how many chromosomes that organism will have. They can even give you in a table showing you different types of chromosomes, but they will always tell you how many chromosomes are present. So in human beings, remember, we've got 46 chromosomes, and they must be in pairs. So in those pairs, we've got a one pair of those chromosomes. One pair of those chromosomes will be what we call sex chromosomes. We've got two types of sex chromosome. You can either have XX or XY. So XX represent female. So whenever someone has got XX, it's a female. Whenever someone has got XY, it's a male. And then we also have got autosomes. So remember, we've got 23 pairs. One pair is sex chromosome. Therefore, the remaining 22 pairs will be autosomes. So this is how a typical structure of a chromosome will look like. For example, we've got inside here where we're going to have the DNA molecule, and then the two, because one is like a chromatid, another one becomes also a chromatid. So each is called a chromatid, and you must also be careful. We've got what we call a short arm and what we call a long arm. So you can see this one is shorter than this one. So this one is clearly our short arm. This one is the longer one, which is our long arm. But we've got two different chromatids which are present in my chromosome. And then we've got this guy called centromere. So centromere is the one that is responsible for holding the two chromatids together. So for us to form a chromosome, the centromere must hold the two chromatids together. And then also at the end or at the tip of our chromosomes, we've got what we call telomeres. Telomeres are the ones which are responsible for aging. The more you lose your telomeres, the more you start aging. So they're very crucial for the aging process. The more you lose your telomeres, the more you start undergoing aging. So we've got what we call a karyotype, because they always ask this question as well. What is a karyotype, for example? So always remember, a karyotype is the complete set of chromosome in a normal individual. So a karyotype is the complete set of um, chromosomes in a normal individual. Also, it can be in an abnormal individual, but in a normal individual, there must be 46 chromosomes. If an individual is not normal, they can either have 45, 47. Yeah, those are the two that I know of. I'm not sure if they can have 40 or they can have 20. I'm not sure, but I know most they have 47. Some can have 45. So it's a complete set of chromosomes in an individual. It can either be normal or also not normal individual. So each chromosome has got a number. For example, this is chromosome number 1, then number 2, number 3, and until number 23. This one becomes our 23rd number. So remember, for this one, a human being can either be a female or a male. If you're XX, you're a female. XY, you're a male. So this are what we call our sex chromosome. Can either be XX or XY. And also remember, for XX, the two chromosomes will be similar or they look alike if it's XX. But if the chromosomes are different, this one is big, this one is small, therefore it becomes XY. So they give us a karyotype and you can see that the two sex chromosomes are the same. Therefore, we know it's an XX. If they're different, we know it's an XY. And then other ones are what we call autosomes. The other remaining 22 pairs are what we call autosomes. So as I've mentioned before, diplet number is 46. Haploid will be 23. And also remember, the two chromosomes that you get as an offspring, they come from your maternal or paternal origin. Maternal means mother, paternal is the father, and then these two they become homologous chromosomes. So that those two chromosomes that look the same in your karyotype, they are called homologous chromosomes. And the most common mutation the most common mutation that you get in chromosomes is called chromosomal mutation. This mutation, they always ask about it. It's called the chromosomal mutation. So, for example, we've got Down syndrome, which is one of the mutations or any conditions that it's also very familiar to grade 12s. So, during Down syndrome, remember we've got the normal numbers 1 until 23. There we are. So, they're showing us that here we've got XY. Therefore, this individual must be a male. So, look at number 21 here. This is my number 21 here. It's having 3 chromosomes, meaning there's an extra chromosome, because normally we've got a pair, which is 2. Here we've got 3. So something went wrong in this chromosome set. So we call this trisomy 21. And then this is mostly due to non-disjunction during anaphase 1 or anaphase 2. So this event that occurs here, we call it non-disjunction. So there are 2 types of genetic variations which we're going to focus on. The most common one, which is a complete trisomy, the most common variation, which is the complete trisomy. This variation occurs in all somatic cells. So all your somatic cells here, they will end up having 3 copies of chromosome number 21. So during trisomy 21, all somatic cells will have that extra copy of chromosome 21. So it normally occurs due to an abnormal process during the gamete production. So the second variation is this one is a few case or sort of like rare. It occurs in a rare manner. So it's called mosaic Down syndrome. So here in trisomy 21, all somatic cells have 3 copies. Here in mosaic Down syndrome, some cells will have a extra copy 21. Some cells, so be careful guys, some cells, meaning some cells won't have extra copy in 21. Some will have extra copy, some won't have extra copy. That is in mosaic Down syndrome. So this one is due to an abnormal which occurs after cell division. So it's not cell division. This occurs which occurs after fertilization. Yeah, this occurs after fertilization, not cell division. So this occurs after fertilization. So this will occur in your mitosis after fertilization, not cell division. So I'm sorry for that error. So it normally occurs during cell division after fertilization. So once you're undergoing fertilization, that's when this mistake will occur. So that's the difference between these two. Here, all will have 3 copies of chromosome 21. Abnormal due to gamete production. Here, abnormal due to cell division after fertilization. And some will have the extra copy, some won't have the extra copy. So symptoms of Down syndrome, mostly you get your mental condition, some hearing or heart defects, some can have small nose or small mouth, some are just decreased muscle tones. So of course there's no cure, but you can treat the symptoms to help the patient become better in a way. So the last other condition I want to focus on is albinism, which also is due to a mutation on X chromosome. So whenever you get a mutation on X chromosome, this can lead to a lack of pigment melanin. So melanin is very crucial for us to get pigment. If you're lacking melanin, then this leads to albinism. So people with albinism, they tend to have a pale skin, and then most of them, the sun tends to affect them. So to avoid such problems, because there's no cure also for it, but you can use protective clothing or creams to assist them. So in the next video, I'm gonna do some questions on this section. So thank you very much for your time, guys.